Welcome everyone to tonight's presentation of YoCoin. And folks, I'm super excited to be your host here today. We have an awesome presentation. We're going to be talking about a few things. So if you have pen and paper, I know almost nobody uses pen and paper anymore, but if you do, take some notes. We're going to have a dialogue here tonight. And this is going to be part presentation, part information, if you will, because we're going to talk about several things, starting with the internet. We're going to talk about terms like blockchain and mining and cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, altcoins, and YoCoin, which is the reason why you're here today. So, some of these things may be foreign. Don't worry about it. We're going to go through it simply. And if you don't get all of this, don't worry because, you can always come back, watch the information again. This is going to be recorded. But the point of this is to really educate and inform the public of what only 6% of the entire world population is currently aware of. And that's that cryptocurrency, folks. Listen to me very, very carefully. Cryptocurrency is no longer the future. The blockchain technology is no longer the future. It is the present. And folks, we have an opportunity right now because think about that for a second. If only 6% of the entire world population know about what we're going to talk about today, and I kid you not, this is going to have massive adoption, just like the internet. And so that's where we're going to start off today. We're going to start talking about the internet. And the reason why, folks, is that when I got dragged into, kicking and screaming into the world of direct sales, it was because of a product that was going to revolutionize telecommunication. It wasn't really the product; it was the technology, and what made that technology possible was the internet. I think that every single person on this call, we have people from all parts of the world right now. We have people from the U.S., from the Europe, from Central and South America that are on this webinar. And today, I've been doing presentations with Europe specifically, with different parts of the world. And that could not be possible if it wasn't for voice internet protocol. That's what we're using right now. In order to do this presentation, we just did an audio and video check. But guess what, folks? It wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for the internet. See, before that, we would have to be in the same place at the same time, in the same room to make this possible, or we would have to do it over the landline and not have the visuals that we're going to go through here today. So that's when webinars were born, and we've been doing webinars before they were even called webinars, because we were right at the beginning when telephone analog telephone service was going to switch out to digital phone service. And so now everybody's familiar with Vonage, everybody's familiar with Skype, Magic Jack, Google, and all these different things. And nobody has landlines anymore because obviously we moved over to a mobile platform. We all have cell phones now. And guess what? We're using the data plans mostly to text and to surf the web and to do all those things from our phones. So really the internet disrupted the way we communicate. Okay, it disrupted telecommunications. And once again, this presentation right now would not be possible if it was for the internet. Now let's take a look at some other industries. Let's take a look at the taxi industry that for, I don't know, 50, 60, 100 years, I don't know, was just a monopoly, right? The yellow cabs, taxi cabs, those types of things. And so now Uber, that just came out in 2009. I mean, I could just like look back and, there's 2009. In less than 10 years, folks, is now valued at over $50 billion. And now from the power of the palm of our hands with a smartphone device, we could download an application, we could call a taxi cab, or a private driver, if you will, private vehicle that is going to take us from point A to point B. It's going to be more efficient. It's going to be less expensive. And we're going to be able to rate the person and actually pay through that application. I mean, that's powerful. Why is that possible? The internet. So it disrupted the way we transport ourselves, the transportation industry. Then we have things like Airbnb that disrupted the house, the hotel industry. We have, the Hilton brand. Everybody's probably stayed at a Hilton before. Over $1 billion brand. Airbnb has surpassed the Hilton brand. It took them 50 years to achieve what they've achieved. And in less than 10 years, Airbnb is now valued at $25.5 billion, folks. Now think about this. This is a simple website that connects people with other people that have something to rent out, a room or a house for people that are traveling. Now, what's the point of this? Well, the point is that the internet made that possible, and a simple website has outperformed the Hilton brand in just the span of less than a decade. Trading, that's my world. I own a trading company, folks, where it would have been possible, 20 years ago. But now with the internet, you don't have to pay a guy in New York. You don't have to pay a guy in Chicago to trade for you, right? Whether it's futures, options, or Forex or whatever. Now you could do that from your home. That's a $4 trillion a day industry. And guess what? Because of the power of the internet, those markets were actually disrupted and made possible that you and I can now trade just with our computer and internet connection, folks. Shopping, retailing, everything is down here in the country. Walmart, Target, Macy's, Sears, over the last few years have declining sales. And the only thing that's been boosted up is online sales. Amazon, eBay, Facebook, all these different things, Google, 117% in growth. So why am I talking about all of these things? Folks, because the internet has disrupted every single aspect. And you want more proof? Social media. The way we socialize has changed. Why? Because of the internet. So it was only natural, it was only a matter of time before the internet was going to disrupt the financial institutions. It was only a matter of time before the banking system was going to be disrupted. The way we exchange money, the remittance industry was going to be disrupted. So that's what we have right now. The internet, well, let's skip that right now, that video. We don't want to play that right now. But the blockchain revolution, folks, okay, is what the internet was for information and everything that we just talked about right now. The blockchain is to everything that has value. Now, what is the blockchain? Now, I told you we're going to talk about a few things, right? The internet and the blockchain go hand in hand. Why? Because what the internet is for information, the blockchain is for value. So, in terms of housing or storing or moving anything of value, the blockchain is the newest, fastest, most secure, unhackable, super, mega, uber database that exists. So think about the blockchain as simply the most sophisticated, unhackable database that can actually move information from one point to another that has value, whether it be medical records, whether it be titles to your home, to your car, whatever, or cryptocurrency. Now, folks, the simplest way for me to describe cryptocurrency is that it is money. And so we're going to talk about that today. So this is really no longer the future. This is the now. This is the present. So what people are saying, the experts are saying that the blockchain is going to be more impactful than self-driving cars, solar energy, or artificial intelligence. And this is what's going to have the greatest impact on the future of the world economy has already arrived, and that's called the blockchain, folks. So let's I'm not sure if you could hear this, but this is Blythe Masters. Let me go ahead and pause this real quick. And Blythe Master has managed a $3.5 billion investment account for JP Morgan. So she's going to kind of explain what the blockchain is. I'm not sure if the transmission is going to be really good here on this presentation, so I'm just going to pause it here. But just to kind of just summarize what she says, she explains that because of the efficiency, the security, the seamless way in which the blockchain allows transactions to happen peer to peer, it makes there's a long list of benefits that actually makes it more affordable for companies to actually use the blockchain in terms of storing information or moving information from one place to another. So this is very, very exciting, folks. Now that's from somebody that manages $3.5 billion. So, let's pay attention. The blockchain, folks, is an open ledger. So you can actually go to blockchain.info, and this particular blockchain here is going to keep a record, a ledger, if you will, of every single transaction that is happening in the number one currency. Now, each cryptocurrency has its own blockchain, folks, but this one specifically, the one that I'm showing you right now, is the Bitcoin blockchain. So if you have not heard of Bitcoin, let me tell you this. In 2009, the very first massively adopted cryptocurrency was born, which is Bitcoin. Not that it was the first cryptocurrency, but it's the one that took off. It was the one that was accepted. It's the one that actually created the market, that created the space, and has done some incredible things. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But this open ledger shows you every single minute by minute transaction that happens all around the world with this particular cryptocurrency, which is Bitcoin. And when we pause here for a minute, I'll take you to the blockchain and we'll take a look at that and you'll see what I'm talking about in real time. Now, what is cryptocurrency? Now, we're not going to go through every single aspect to really try to define every little thing about it, but just know that a cryptocurrency is made through the resolving of complex mathematical algorithms, equations. And the reward for doing this and to verifying transactions on the blockchain gives you a reward which is known as a block of coins. That's it, folks. Now, if you feel like your head's about to explode, me too. But we don't have to understand that because here's the reality. Cryptocurrency exists and it has value, and I'm going to prove it to you in just a second. But what's really cool about cryptocurrency is that it's open, it's anonymous, and it's secure, and it's fast, and it bypasses all traditional financial structures. So we could actually move money from peer to peer at a fraction of what it would cost by doing it through traditional means, whether it was MoneyGram, Western Union, banks, whatever, doing a credit card transaction. It's the most affordable and fastest, most efficient way to move money from one place to another. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the history of money. It started when we were exchanging goods, goods that I cannot grow or provide for myself. And I would exchange what I could produce for something that I couldn't. Right, and that was basically the first way of monetary exchange, was just exchanging goods for other goods. Then we came to the realization that that wasn't very practical to be able to do that for everything. So gold came on the scene, and we started changing gold for whatever it is that we needed. But then that wasn't very practical either, so we developed coins. Okay, so the more something costs, the more coins you would have, could get very inefficient to be carrying around all of that. So as things progressed, we went to what is now known as fiat currency. And if you see that, that's what most of us have grown up with. And then during our lifetime, this became super popular, which are debit cards, credit cards. They're attached to our bank account. And so we don't have to carry the cash anymore as long as we have the plastic. Now, would you and I agree that it took a while for us to get really comfortable with using a debit card or using a credit card? It didn't happen overnight. But then when we kind of we look at it now, it's like it's here and it's now and it's self-evident. Well, there were people, I remember I was one of them. I didn't want to use one of those cards. I want to use cash. And I hanged on to cash for as long as possible. And if I'm completely transparent and honest, I do not leave my house if I don't have at least some cash in my pocket. Even though I have about 4 or 5 of these, I still carry cash. It's just ingrained in me. But the vast majority of the people probably do not carry cash anymore. They use plastic. So what I'm trying to point out to you folks is that as times have evolved, as new economies have arisen, as new ways of doing things, as technology has evolved, we have gone from different ways of transacting. And so right now, we're already dealing in ones and zeros, right? This is all digital money when you think about a credit card. Well, how does that work? You swipe a card and somehow money is exchanged, but really nothing happened, right? So it's all digital money already. We're just not realizing that there is a new and more efficient way to do this, and that is through cryptocurrency. Now, folks, remember this. Only 6% of the entire world population even knows that Bitcoin or any of the other 2,000 cryptocurrencies that currently exist that are real currencies, nobody knows about. Why? Well, it's not self-evident just yet. But this is moving lightning fast, folks, that by the time this opportunity is self-evident, it's going to pass you by. Just like the opportunity of Bitcoin. If you miss that, you'll understand what I'm talking about, because the world's first cryptocurrency was developed in 2009 called Bitcoin by Satoshi Nakamoto. Since then, many new cryptocurrencies, also known as altcoins, in fact, all of them, the ones that come after Bitcoin, they're known as altcoins, have been introduced. So everything is measured against Bitcoin. And you're going to understand that in just a second. Now, here's a couple of things, a couple of fun facts, okay? In the first real world transaction with Bitcoin, a programmer paid 10,000 Bitcoins for two large Papa John's pizzas. 4 years later, those Bitcoins were worth $5.12 million. Now, that would be worth more today, because as of today, one Bitcoin is over 600 bucks. So if you do the math, 10,000 times, you're looking at $6 million for two Papa John's pizzas. That is the first transaction that kicked this off back in 2009, when the price of one Bitcoin was 6 cents. Now think about that, folks. If you could go back in time and go back and buy a few Bitcoins at 6 cents, okay, how many would you purchase? How many would take advantage of that price point? Well, see, here's the problem from early adopters and people that are visionaries and people that actually see things and identify trends, is that a lot of people would have said, no, what the heck is Bitcoin? I was one of them. But other people took the initiative. Other people took the risk. Other people decided to jump on board. And guess what? Because they did, right now, they're massively wealthy, because they jumped onto the Bitcoin train. So this other gentleman, 2009, Koch, he was working on a thesis paper about encryption, came across Bitcoin. He threw down $27 for 5,000 Bitcoins. Guess what? Worth almost $1 million. And that's just amazing, folks. And there's a ton of stories just like this. And that's the power of taking action. So today you're going to be presented with another opportunity, folks. It's going to be up to you whether you take it, because you could be in the right place at the right time, but be the wrong person for that opportunity. So hopefully you see something. You're going to see what some of the top minds of our world have already seen. And see, this is what you have to understand, that you don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take the word for it of the person that invited you to this presentation here tonight, because what we say is irrelevant, right? Even though I got to tell you, I can geek out with cryptocurrency. I own it. I've been part of ICOs. I'm part of the development team for cryptocurrency, and I transact in cryptocurrency. I got involved in this whole cryptocurrency craze back when Bitcoin was $200. And the reason that happened was because my software company develops all over the world software for the futures markets. And we were taking money in from many different countries. And if you know anything about merchant processing, it can be very challenging on the international scale. So we picked up some customers from some of these countries that are very difficult to transact with. The banking system is archaic, it's slow, and quite frankly, there's countries where the banking institutions won't allow you to really get your money outside of the country. And in this case, we were dealing with Argentina, and we had customers that had to go over to Chile to actually send us money. And it will cost them $50 to send, and it will cost us $12 to receive. And so it became very sluggish. And so a business associate of mine said, hey, why don't you accept Bitcoin? And so we did. We took a chance. And guess what? We don't do it any other way. I mean, if we're going to have money from Europe or Asia or any of these other places come in, we take Bitcoin as a form of currency. So from a vendor standpoint, from a business that actually takes Bitcoin as a form of payment, I could tell you that is the best, fastest, most efficient, most reliable, and most affordable way to actually move money around. Folks, you could send $10,000 worth of Bitcoin and it's going to cost you about 2 pennies. That's how powerful this is. And when you understand the implications in terms of the remittance industry, the MoneyGrams of the world, the Western Unions of the world, and all the money that they've been making, when you realize how simple it is to send money through Bitcoin, then your eyes are going to just open up. The light bulb's going to go off, and you're going to see the magnitude of what we're talking about here today. So who else is involved? Forget about me. Bill Gates. Does that ring a bell to anybody? I mean, he's invested $400 million in the number 2 coin, in Ethereum, Why are we talking about Ethereum, folks? Because this is powerful. Ethereum, folks, is the #2 coin slash wallet, and the YoCoin that we're going to talk about in just a second piggybacks off of the Ethereum blockchain. Why? Because we already said the blockchain of Ethereum is the most fastest, most reliable, most efficient blockchain technology that exists currently. Now, would you agree that from 2009, when Bitcoin first came out, to 2016, technology has evolved? Absolutely. Well, guess what? The #2 coin has the best and latest and greatest technology in blockchain technology. And guess who? Bill Gates is one of the major investors in the Ethereum. So, folks, this is fantastic for you to know because it's the greatest and most brilliant minds of our time are already involved in cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Billionaire Richard Branson hosted the greatest minds in Bitcoin on his private island to discuss the future of blockchain technology. He has personally invested over $30 million into Bitcoin startups so far. These are some of the greatest minds of our times, folks. Mark Anderson, inventor of the first web browser Netscape. Mark believes blockchain technology will impact the world more than the internet has. He has invested $50 million so far and has vowed to invest hundreds of millions more. Tim Draper. Now, Tim Draper, folks, is known as the Nostradamus of the financial world. He personally owns 30,000 BTC and now owns Ether. What is Ether? That's one of Ethereum. Okay, that's an Ether. And so we're gonna take a quick pause here, okay? But I want you to understand this. He says Bitcoin will continue to lead because it has become the standard, but Ethereum and others will also have an effect on various verticals like smart contracts or bank transfers. So Tim Draper, he predicts that one Bitcoin is still headed to 10,000. He says that within the next 3 years, one Bitcoin is going to be worth $10,000, folks. So let's take a look at, let's pause here real quick. I want to take you over to CoinMarketCap. And the reason why is I want to show something to you here. I want you to see how real this world is. And if this is the first time you're looking at all this information, don't worry about it. This is being recorded. You can watch it a couple of times. Let me go ahead and show you this website. This is coinmarketcap.com. This has nothing to do with our company. Okay, this is just a roster, if you will, of the top cryptocurrencies. There's over 700 different currencies that are going to be on the site. And as you can see here, you have Bitcoin leading the way. Okay, you have Bitcoin at #1. Can everybody see the screen okay? Just want to make sure if you could just put a quick little chat message there, I'd appreciate it. Quick little chat, just make sure, let me know the video is coming across okay. Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so if you look at this, you have Bitcoin at #1. We're at $612. Now, I'm kicking myself because when I started accepting Bitcoin was 3 years ago as a vendor, and I didn't keep any of it. I would convert it into fiat currency immediately. I would link my Bitcoin wallet into my bank account and would go right into my Chase account. So, and I was accepting it when it was at around $200. So if I would have hanged on to some of it, look how far it went. In just 3 years, it tripled to $600. Now, Ethereum, which is this #2 coin, is $13. Now, why is it such a big gap from #1 to #2? Well, Ethereum's only been out for about a year, okay? Bitcoin's been around since 2009 and invented and created the space. So it's dominated the space. Why? Well, #1, there's really four things that impact the value of a cryptocurrency or that really matter about a cryptocurrency. One is anonymity. The second one is security, innovation, but most importantly, it's liquidity. That's really what it's all about. Is if I buy these coins, how can I use them? Right? What is the real world value? Well, Bitcoin is accepted by 2 million retailers. So that makes sense, right? So if it's liquid, I can use it. Therefore, the value is going to skyrocket. Well, Ethereum was at 1302, but here's what we know about Microsoft. Here's what we know about that technology, right? That they develop and what they're known for. They want to be everywhere for everyone. So Ethereum works as a wallet as well. So YoCoin, which just started in December of last year, this is important for you to understand. This is where this differentiates us from everything that's out there. YoCoin is currently in the top 50 cryptocurrencies, folks. Okay. Well, actually, today we're at 55. We're right here. Okay, here's YoCoin. All right. So today, the fluctuation of the price, you're looking at just shy of 7 cents for one YoCoin. Now, think about that for a second. In 2009, one Bitcoin was 6 cents. YoCoin right now is hovering around the same price. So think about that for a second, folks. What is going to happen as we move forward? What is going to happen when we take this coin to market? Because here's what we're doing as a company. Let's go back to the presentation here, and let me show you a few things that are going to just absolutely blow your mind. All right, here we go. I'm going to open up my screen again, and let's take a look at this. Now, you already saw where Bitcoin is going. That's great. And you already saw that we have the greatest and most intelligent, brightest minds of our time talking about why you should get involved or why they got involved in cryptocurrency and the blockchain. So let's talk a little bit about YoCoin. Whoops. Let's kind of skip this. I want to get to a little bit more about cryptocurrency as a whole. It was designed to maintain its users' anonymity. So when you make a purchase with traditional money, your personal information is attached to each and every transaction, which can be used to track you and take note of your purchases, but cryptocurrency transactions carry no personal information. Now, what are the advantages of cryptocurrency over traditional money? Why use it? Well, number one, it's decentralized. YoCoin is completely decentralized. It's open source, so anybody can mine it. It's easy to use, anonymity, transparency, and free from fees. Well, it's not completely free from fees, but the fees are so infinitesimal that it's almost non-existent. You can get Bitcoin everywhere, okay? Now, all of this is important, folks, because YoCoin is on 10 publicly traded exchanges. That means it's a real cryptocurrency. This is not smoke and mirrors. This is not fake. This is on actual 10 of the largest exchanges around the world. Okay, now that's important because there's companies out there that don't have real cryptocurrency. They just have a coin that exists for internal consumption. That's not the case here, folks. We have a real currency with real value. Now, how is it different than Bitcoin? Well, we've decided to piggyback off of Ethereum blockchain. And I talked about this just a little bit, but understand this. Ethereum is going to be everywhere. It's going to be the oracle of cryptocurrency, if you will. It's going to be everywhere for everyone. And we want to be able to use their blockchain. And so YoCoin is now on the Ethereum blockchain. And what that means is that we're going to be opening up wallets around the world that are going to contain YoCoin, but we're going to be using them through Ethereum, which is currently the number 2 coin on the market. So those are very strategic moves that YoCoin is doing, is partnering with the most efficient blockchain technology that it currently exists. Now, this is the site that I just took you to, and we just kind of talked about this for a second. And if you could see, there was fluctuation on the coins themselves from the day I took the snapshot to what it's actually on CoinMarketCap right now. But if you want to take a look at the pricing of the coins, this is where you're going to go and be able to find all of the legitimate coins that exist out there. But most of the coins that are out there exist because there's been now an ecosystem that has been created in the cryptocurrency world where coins are developed and become ICOs. So they become initial coin offerings and gives people an opportunity like you and I to participate if we know what we're doing. But since only 6% of the world population are involved in cryptocurrency, none of us know. So YoCoin, for the first time, what they're doing is they're allowing us to participate in the purchase of a pre-mined coin, folks. This is huge because it allows us to participate without having to buy hardware, without having to mine the coin, without having to learn about open source and petahash and terahash and all these different fancy terms, where we could just participate by purchasing the coin itself. And so these are some of the things that are going to be coming out and being rolled out, which is a decentralized crypto bank, which will pay you high interest on your saved YoCoins. An offline online merchant service, so retailers and online websites can accept YoCoin. An online shopping portal, which is very similar to Amazon.com, but only accepts YoCoin for payment. Okay, but the future of YoCoin, which is this application. This application, folks, has been developed with 37 different patents to allow merchants and vendors and business owners to accept as a form of payment YoCoin for products, services, and goods. Now, this is something that's going to go around the world, folks. It's not limited to the United States. We're open everywhere as of today. And so once we launch this application, you can now have go out and sign up business owners to accept this as a form of payment. And every transaction that they do through YoCoin or through the application, we get a percentage of that. Now think about that. That's the global scale. The last time I was this excited about something, folks, I wound up making $1 million in commissions earned. Not in volume sold, in commissions earned. And that was in a little over 90 days with merchant services attached to direct sales. Because of direct sales model, we were processing a million, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars and generating commissions. And it was through the power of the direct sales model. So when I look at this and an application that's going to allow us to basically do the same thing and has an edge over things like Groupon for the average business owner, I'm excited. So folks, this is where it's at. This is where it's going to go. This company has a specific plan on how to get the coin to market through the development of the applications and using the Ethereum blockchain model. Very, very smart and very strategic in the way they're doing it. Now, Blythe Masters. We talked just a little bit about her. She manages a fund of $3.5 billion. She says, how serious should you take this? Well, I would take it as seriously as you should have taken the concept of the internet in the early 1990s. Well, let me ask you a question. Do you understand the internet? Or did you understand it back in the 1990s? Well, it's 2016 right now. I still don't understand it. But guess what? It doesn't matter if I understand it or not. The internet is self-evident. See, there were people that said, hey, newspapers are never going to go out of style. I haven't picked up a newspaper for any other reason other than to dry the windows of my car. That's it. Okay? Because now I could get the information faster, quicker, more efficiently by being on the internet. So I don't have to understand how it works. I don't have to geek out. I don't have to become a nerd to really understand and decipher and explain how the internet works. I just need to know that it works. When I turn on my computer, when I turn on my TV, I don't know how it works. You know how it works? I pick up the remote and hit a button and it works. That's how I know it works. I have no idea how TVs work, but it's self-evident. So don't let the opportunity of cryptocurrency pass you by because it's not yet self-evident. By the time it's self-evident, folks, the opportunity has already passed you by. That's where we are today. So take this very, very seriously, folks. Now, before we go into how you can become a customer or an affiliate, I'm going to show you one more website. And I'm going to pause my screen here very quickly. And we're going to go to this other website that I need you to understand where we are as a company today. Because this is going to be, this to me was just amazing. This was a couple of weeks back. I was actually having dinner with one of the owners of the company. And he said, hey, Danny, just go to this website. And I was like, okay. So I typed it in, and it was yobills.co. So hopefully everybody can see my screen. Can everybody see my screen? Can everybody see the screen? Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, so yobills.co is pay your bills. You can pay any bill from just about any company in the US, UK, Canada, Vietnam, India, and most African countries. Folks, when I saw this was like 2 weeks ago. It was only US, UK, and Canada. Now we've added since then Vietnam, India, and most African countries. Why? Because that's where we're growing the most. These are the countries that are taking off with YoCoin. So wherever we have production, folks, guess what? This is where this is going to go. But this is something that we can use our YoCoins now for, is to be able to pay our bills. So what did I tell you at the beginning that was one of the most important reasons why a coin goes up in value? It's usability. It's liquidity. Being able to spend it. So if I could spend it to pay what I'm going to spend anyway, then that gives it a demand. And the only thing that affects the price of a cryptocurrency, folks, is supply and demand. So let's go back to our presentation here. I'm going to pause the screen one more time. And we're going to go back to our presentation. And we're going to talk about how you can get started with YoCoin. Well, there's two ways to engage. Number one, you could become a customer, or you can become an affiliate, or both. Now, what's the difference? Well, a customer is somebody that comes in, says, hey, I think this is a great idea. I want to get some YoCoin. And you purchase the YoCoin. And you buy and hold, right? And you do nothing else. You don't tell anybody about it. You just want to be a customer. You just want to own the coin. Perfect. We'd love to have you. And then there's going to be affiliates. And affiliates are those people that are actually going to tell somebody else. And, most affiliates are going to be customers as well. Why? Because we own the coin. So let's take a look at what that means. Okay, number one, step one, you're going to open up an account. And it's free. So everybody that's on this webinar today, you're out of excuses. You can sign up for free. And you could be part of the group. You could see everything that's going on. You could see the back office. You could see everything that we're doing and all the stuff that's taking place. The videos. You can watch through all of that stuff. When you create a free account, you're going to get what's called a YC number. That's a YoCoin number. Now, in the login, when you log in, it's going to ask you for a username. What it's asking you for is the YC number. So this is very, very important. So that's how you open up an account. It's free to do. Step two, purchase your YoCoin product pack, $50 to $2,000. Okay, that is what we can sell right now. The maximum is $2,000 as a one-time out-of-pocket purchase. The minimum is $50. Okay, which is Visa, Mastercard, Wire, and Bitcoin. All right, so those are the ways that you can purchase it. Now, this is a little outdated, but this is your chance to join a community of over 87,000. We're up to 110,000 folks, okay, as of yesterday, I believe, as we generate income and build wealth together. I mean, this is a reality. This is happening. In my personal group, we put in, gosh, I'd have to check as today, but I'm pretty sure we probably have about 2,000 people so far, or very close to that. And it's just phenomenal. I mean, we've grown so fast, so quickly. We've made so much money already. On Saturday, I realized that, because of the commissions that we've earned, we already have about 46,000 coins on top of the cash that we've earned from the direct sales portion of this program. So really, really excited about this, folks. And here's why. This is a one-time out of pocket. There's no affiliate fees. There's no website fees. There's no monthly out-of-ship fees. When somebody repurchases, they're going to repurchase because they want to. Because everybody that buys today is just buying the coin at the market price. And I'm going to explain that in detail in just a second here. But you could now own a piece of the biggest financial revolution of this century. Whether you agree or disagree, it doesn't matter. It's going to happen, and you're going to watch it happen. And you're going to remember that one day you were on a webinar that was only possible because of the internet. And oh my God, the internet disrupted the financial industry and the banking institutions. And they came out with cryptocurrency. And yeah, I was there, but I didn't take action. I want everybody that's on this webinar to be able to tell a story like the guy that bought the pizza for Bitcoin, or the other guy that bought $27 because he was writing a paper on encryption. I want those stories to come out of people that are on this webinar here today. I'd rather have those than the other, because the other is you missed it. So let's talk about this opportunity and what it can mean for you. Now, you can maximize your life and build your future. There's a referral program attached to this. So it says 10% fast start, 10% team bonus, and matching check bonus. Now, that's an oversimplification of the compensation structure. So what I'm going to do, folks, is I'm going to go ahead and kind of shift gears and talk a little bit about why I believe this is a very, very powerful, real opportunity where you can make money three different ways. So where are we now, folks? Where the risk is super minimal. Why? Because the reward upside potential is massive. Now, what's the flip side? Can the coin go to zero? Absolutely. There's risk. But there's a difference between risk and risky with everything that I just told you today. From December to now being the top 50 cryptocurrencies, having the applications to be able to take it to vendors and business owners, going onto the Ethereum blockchain. All of these are strategic moves, folks, so that we have a real opportunity. We're on 10 of the top cryptocurrency exchanges, and we have a mass demand for the coin because we've gone from 0 to 110,000 people in about 5 months. So, folks, that's where we are right now. So let's take a look at this. We have a compensation plan for those of you that want to become an affiliate today. Remember, to register is free, but our plan is designed so that if you activate and purchase and activate your purchase with buying a coin, then guess what? When you talk to two people and they do the same thing, you are now commission qualified. And that's it. That's all you have to do, a one-time out of purchase, and then tell two people about it, and now you're able to receive commissions. Now, when you sell a product package, let's be clear on this. A product package is just a denomination of our cryptocurrency. So if you buy $50 worth or $100 worth or $500 worth or 1,000 or 2,000, all you're doing is taking the current market price of the coin divided by whatever you're purchasing. So let's take a look at this. Let's say you buy $50 worth. Let's say the price of the coin today was 10 cents. If you divide 10 into 50, you would have 500 coins. Okay? Now think about that. 500 coins. What happens if the coins just go to $1 in value? Let's say it just goes to 20 cents. Well, guess what? You double your money. Right? So that's powerful. So you buy $50, what you're doing is you're buying at the current market price. So today it's worth 6 cents, 7 cents, that's the price you're buying at. So right now it's a perfect time to buy. Why? Because buy low, sell high, right? No secret there. That's the way you want to do it. So you also make a 10% referral fee. So on the $50 purchase, it's $5. Now remember, there's $100, $1,000, and $2,000. So if somebody buys $2,000 and you're making 10%, then you make $200. Now remember that every time somebody purchases or repurchases and you brought them to YoCoin, you're going to make that 10%. Okay? Now, after 72 hours of a cooling period, if you want to add more to your account, you could buy another 5,000. After another 72 hours, you could buy another 10,000 in YoCoins. So you got to wait 72 hours before you could upgrade those packages. But the maximum one-time out-of-pocket is going to be 2,000. And whoever referred that person makes 10% of that package sale. Now, we also have what's called a binary compensation structure. This is the direct sales portion of this. And binaries, folks, are really powerful. I got involved in direct sales 10 years ago, made $250,000 my first year. And then from there on out, made 7 figures, and I made multiple 7 figures in the industry. Most of that has been with binary. Why? I believe it's the fastest, most efficient, and it's the most fair in terms of helping your organization grow. Now, when your product purchase is going to determine how much weekly income you can make based off of that purchase. So 500 weekly binary cap. So if you come in with a one-time out-of-pocket of $50, $500 weekly cap, which puts you around $26,000 a year for a one-time out-of-pocket of $50. $1,000 weekly binary income cap if you purchase $100 worth of YoCoin. Now that's going to put you at $52,000 per year as the cap for the binary income. That puts you where half of America is already, but you have an opportunity. They have a job, 40 hours a week, right? The 40-40-40 plan, work 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire on 40% of what you're making. Here, folks, with a one-time out-of-pocket of 100, you get the coins, which is roughly around 1,000 plus coins right now, and $1,000 weekly, which puts you at $52,000 per year. At $500, folks, 5,000 weekly binary income cap. Now that's $20,000 per month with one position. You're flirting with $250,000. At $1,000 product purchase, 8,000 weekly binary income cap. That puts you at $32,000. And if you do the math, it's going to put you a little over 360,000. You're flirting with 750,000. Well, no, my math is off there. Let's see here. At 8,000 a week times 4, you're looking at, let's see, let's figure it out real quick. Let's see, that's 32,000 times 12. That's 384. No, I was right. Yeah, $750,000. Absolutely. That's going to put you in the top 1% of moneymakers in America. At $2,000 product purchase, you're going to be at 12,000 weekly binary income cap. So now, if you do the math, 12 times 4, that's 48. 48 times 12. I mean, you're looking at a lot of income here. I mean, you're looking at 48,000 times 12. Yeah, 576,000. I mean, that's just amazing, folks. You're over $500,000 in income. Actually, I made a mistake right now on my math window, and I said $750,000. I was wrong. It's $380,000. This is $500,000 with 2,000 product purchases and sales volume, 12,000 weekly cap, folks. You're over $500,000 in income with one position. But now here's what's significant. If you come in at 2,000 and your group product sells, let's say you tell a couple of people in your group and they start doing the same thing, and now you've generated 5,000 in group sales, your income goes to 20,000 weekly binary income. That's the cap. That's the max. So now do the math. 20 times 4, that's $80,000 with one position a month. That's huge. That is amazing. Now, 2,000 and group volume of 10,000. Remember, 2,000 is what you could buy personally. 10,000 is what your group produces. Then your weekly cap goes to 35,000 times 4. That's 140,000. One position. That's a 7-figure income potential with one position. So if you build 2 teams, that is the potential based on the product purchases. So here's my point. I've been in this industry for many, many years, and I've seen a lot of comp plans. And some comp plans are going to tell you, well, you make 15% or you make 12%, 13 or 20. But the caps are really tight. Here we're getting 10%, but folks, the caps are huge. So once you get that momentum going, guys, if you can't make it with 140 million a month, then I know I can. I don't need a helicopter. I don't need a submarine. So this is powerful. And here's the best part. Spillover counts for the binary. So as you come on board today, you got to realize this, that if you heard of this today, get positioned today, because we are growing by leaps and bounds every single day. And don't be surprised that you wake up tomorrow and you're going to have some people underneath you, because this is how fast the program is going. And that counts towards you being able to cash out. So let's take a look at this quickly. On the cycles, okay, or on the binary cycles, you're going to get paid on 10% of the weaker volume or the weaker leg volume. So whichever team is doing the less production, that's the one that you're going to make 10% on. So very typical, very simple. So let's say you have 8,000 in group sales on one side, 5,000 on the other. They take 10% from the 5,000, which is the weaker volume, and you get paid $500 for that. Now, this is the best part. 70% of your commissions are paid in cash, and 30% of them are paid in YoCoin. So let's be, to me, that's exciting, because I know me, and I'm going to live off of that 70%, pay my bills and lifestyle and all those things. But that 30% is a fortune that we are amassing in YoCoin. So think about that for a second. If you get paid dollar for dollar, whatever the coin is worth today, but as time goes by and you're getting more of it, but the price is also going up, then guess what? It's a home run for everybody. Does that make sense? It is a home run for everybody, because that 30% is a small fortune. That's going to be your Ferrari money. That's going to be your house money. And so very, very excited about that part of the compensation structure. Now, the rest of this, folks, everything we just talked about right now, including this bonus, all you have to do to qualify is one left, one right, with a minimum purchase of $50. That's it. This is my favorite part of the program, the check match, because you are going to be able to match every single person that you personally sponsor. You're going to check match them at 10% of whatever their binary income is. So if you go out and get a leader, right, that has built massive organizations, and let's say they're making an income of 100,000 a month. Guys, it happens. I know a ton of people. There's people on this webinar right now that have made that kind of money. Okay, and so you have to understand that everybody's hearing about this right now, and everybody's coming on board. Everybody's positioning themselves right now. So you get one of those big leaders, and they're making 100,000 a month because you brought them. As long as you have one left, one right, with a one-time out-of-pocket minimum purchase of $50, then you're going to make 10% of that 100 grand, so you make 10,000 yourself. How many times can you do that? As many times as you want. So I suggest, and I'm talking to the leadership right now, is go out and talk to everyone. Everyone, folks, because I knew about this opportunity when it started, but I didn't take action. And when I went to the corporate headquarters, I ran into teams of mine that flew in from outside the country. I ran into them there, and we all, kind of hugged each other and took pictures together and all that kind of stuff. But guess what? They were on somebody else's team. Why? Because I didn't take action. And that's going to happen to a lot of people because the word is out, folks. Now, there's no limits on how many people you could personally, directly sponsor. And you get to check match each and every one of them at 10%. Now, everything we just talked about, the only thing you need to do in order to qualify is one left, one right, and you have an active position. That means a one-time out of minimum purchase of $50. But if you go out and do some volume, 10,000 left and 10,000 right, remember you have two teams, one left, one right, and you bring in two new customers at 1,000 each, or any combination of personally enrolled people that total 1,000 and 1,000, well, guess what? You are now part of YoClub. And YoClub is 1% of YoCoin sales during 2016 and the first quarter of 2017, which is going to be divided each month by qualified and active YoClub members. Now, that is huge, right? Because it's a 1% pool of every single affiliate, of every single team, of every single country in the world, wherever we're open, 1% of total group sales gets divided into by the people that qualify for YoClub. Now, on top of that, you're going to receive an additional match bonus of 10% on all binary compensation of every single person on your team. Now, spillover doesn't count. This is the team group tree, okay? So it's from you down, your genealogy. You're going to check match everybody's binary income at 10%. But this particular bonus is paid exclusively in YoCoin. So again, this is going to keep adding to the small fortune that you're getting paid because 30% of your regular commissions are YoCoin. Now, on top of that, you're going to check match everybody. Once you become a YoCoin club member, you're going to be able to check match 10% of everybody's binary income in your tree. Now, the next match that you're going to have is a second 10% binary check match and a 15% third level binary check match. I was happy just with the 10% on the first one, but think about this. Your second level is going to be wider than the first. That one's 10%. But the third level is going to be wider than the second and the first one combined, typically. So that's going to be your widest level. And that one, you're going to be able to check match people at 15%. Now, in order to do this, you have to be YoClub qualified for 3 consecutive months to make this a permanent bonus. But once again, I'm talking to the leadership right now. You could actually do this in your first month. All you have to do is 30,000 left, 30,000 right, and you're there, and you already have that. Folks, it's very, very possible. I have 2 positions, and I have both positions already qualified in the month in the same month. Qualified both positions at 30 left, 30 right. We've done $250,000 in business since we started 3.5 weeks ago. So is it possible? Absolutely, it's possible. And with some of the people that we have online today, I know that this thing is just going to go, it's going to go to the moon. Okay, so let's take a look at how are we going to liquidate our coins? Well, very smartly. After the first maturity period of 30 days, you're going to be able to liquidate your coins at 5% per week. Okay, that's a redemption rate. So if you do the math, there's 4 weeks in a month, so 5 times 4 is 20. So 20% of what you're holding in YoCoin, you're going to be able to sell every single month. Now, after 24 weeks, right, because 24 times 5, that's 100, so 24 weeks goes by. If you decide to sell everything off on day one after 24 weeks, then you can do so. No problem, no restrictions, no limitations. But most of us aren't even going to think of touching our coins until the price is hovering around $1 or $2. I mean, when I found out on Saturday that I already have 46,000 coins, I was thinking, man, if this just goes to $2, that's almost 100 grand right there, just in what I currently hold in YoCoin. Not to mention the money that we've already earned through the direct sales model. Now, one more time, 70% is paid in cash and 30% is paid in YoCoin. And so, folks, this is just visually telling you everything I just mentioned. I kind of got ahead of myself, but the initial 4-week period, that's the first 30 days, 100% of your YoCoin cryptocurrency account is available after a voluntary 24-week holding option. Folks, we are super excited about this opportunity. Whenever we finish a presentation like this, we have 3 types of people. One is going to say, hey, you know what? It's not for me. And if that is the case, I want to thank you for being on this webinar and listening to this webinar so attentively. Second, there's going to be those people that are going to be like, hey, I'm in. I want to be a customer. I want to buy my YoCoin, and I want to buy and hold. If that's you, fantastic. We welcome you. We want more customers. And then third, we're going to have the people that want to be both. They want to be a customer and they want to be an affiliate, and they can't wait for this webinar to be over so they can call every single person they know. So, folks, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking your time out. I know it's late and it's in the middle of the week, but you came out to look at an opportunity, and hopefully, you got a chance to get a glimpse. If you didn't understand it all, don't worry about it. I didn't understand the internet when I first saw it, and I still don't understand it, but I make money with it every single day. So, just like that, take this seriously. Just like Blythe Master says, take it as seriously as what the internet was in 1990. This is bigger. This is what the internet did for information. This is what the blockchain is going to do for the transfer and the holding of value. And that's the blockchain technology. It's no longer the future, folks. It's today. So thank you so much, guys, and have an incredible evening, and God bless.